Folks, welcome back. How's everybody doing? Today, sit back, relax. We're going to have just a real life conversation about things that most people just don't have the depth of understanding to really have that thought process to talk about. So we're going to do that today. My name is Rudy. Hope you're having a good day. So today, I want to go over a few things. Been on YouTube for 8 years. And these market cycles are very fascinating. Because we tend to go through this certain repeatable cycle, yet people are surprised of this cycle. So let's talk about it. For example, today's video we're going to talk about Pokemon. We're talking about some weird MetaZoo thing, just to make sure you thumbs down. We're going to talk about this massive recovery of Flesh and Blood. And of course, we're going to talk about Magic the Gathering's reserve list and how literally it is the most dead it's ever been in the 8 years I've been on YouTube, where nobody just gives two flying flips about it. It's unbelievable. So, first I want to go over this. I think the average person is so stressed and so mentally built a small world around their day-to-day routine, they fail to see some of the larger scale things. And I don't think it's their fault. I think it's a product of how difficult it is to start from nothing in a 2023 era. So I don't think it's a lot of people's blame or point fingers or fault that they can't see some of these things because they're just trying to make it. And you got to be able to respect that the difficulty of where the world is. And that's just how it is now. It's crappy, but it is what it is. So wealth and price increases in the collectible world happen in bull markets. Ever since mid-2021, in all of 2022, we went through a bear market that did tremendous damage, wiped out stores, flushed inventories, collapsed collectors, investors, made players feel negative, and it was like a wave that went through the system, and then you never saw her again. It was a very turbulent, powerful bear market that we went through. I think it lasted almost 20 months. I think it was like 19 months. May of 2021 was the peak for crypto and everything. October of 2021, I think, was the peak of the stock market. And then the official bottom, as everyone's been talking about, was, I think, November, December of 2022. Yeah, a year and a half, 18 to 20. Jeez, that was a long time. It was brutal. So, when we have these big bull runs, everybody comes into the market. Everybody wants to chase that return. Everybody's excited. I see, I can tell by the emails from my own email and patrons, everybody's just leveraging, borrowing, all in. Everybody wants to buy everything, to flip, to speculate. The euphoria and the dopamine, the cardboard crack thing really goes in full force. But the smart money and the people who've been doing this their entire lives, they have hair like me, they can't afford haircuts, they live in basements, they talk about washer dryers. The real accumulation and the actual money is not made right in those bull markets. It's made right now. Every time we go through periods that are boring, that are crappy, Pokemon, new set, $105 in TCG player, stores are just selling them at a loss. All these Magic sets, they come out, sell them at a loss. You know, Weiss. All the Weiss sets, they come out. Stores pay like $55 for a Weiss box. They're selling for $55 online. There's no money in it. Everything's bad. These are the periods that the actual money in the wealth is generated. But you don't see the wealth until the bull market returns. Although it's actually created in these times, it's revealed in the bull market times. So, ironically, I've been spending so much time thinking about this. When I was sick, stupid respiratory virus, unknown. I think I'd rather have the flu or COVID. This thing's ridiculous. Whatever this stupid thing going around is. And if I was right a year or so ago, and the reserve list did have another huge leg up. Weiss had a huge leg up. Pokemon, well, I guess still did pretty good. If everything with reserve list and old Magic, on what I was talking about 2 years ago, had continued, I'm not sure how much buying and how many deals and collection videos I'd even be able to do. So like, I almost feel like reversing into that question, I should be thankful that the market was just in shambles and remains in shambles post Magic 30, Cynthia, Philip Morris, Williams, Fireside Chats, Chris Cox, and Magic 30. Like, I almost feel like I should owe them a thank you for making it so bad so that I can continue the expansion of positions. And it's such a bittersweet, bizarre conversation because it's almost like the more they screw up, the more it allows opportunity for wealth and money to move. But the more they screw up, it's almost like an insulting thing to the whole industry. The whole industry, it's like a middle finger. It's just like, really? But it's a very bizarre thing. So I'll pause right there. In the last 6 months, I've been I've been deploying a lot of capital and accumulating tremendous positions in Weiss, in Pokemon, in Magic, in Reserve List, in Sealed Magic that's new, and Vintage Magic. Like, across the board. Incredible. Like, I was thinking about the last 30 days. I bought these, a total of 4 Visions booster boxes from Magic. And the prices were as low as $1,100, $1,300, like $1,550, $4, like just all over the place. But I sat back and I'm like, these boxes were almost $3,000 at the peak. And I was paying like $2,400. And I thought $2,400 was a good deal. And now I'm seeing this inventory expansion, some of these items that are, illiquid. You don't want them. You got to rely on another rich idiot Rudy to take it off your hands. All the internet stuff. I love that stuff. And as these things are happening, I'm updating the inventory, adding it to the spreadsheet, adding pictures, adding it to the Rudy Vault. I look at it and I'm like, if it didn't drop in the 3,000 peak, went to 5,000 to 10,000 for a Visions box. I know it's a stupid example. And then my buy list price from, if it was 10,000, goes to 8,000 or 7,000. Would I have really been that excited? Would I have even bought 4 more boxes at that price? And I'm not sure. It depends on the market conditions, I guess. But overall, my instinct is maybe I would have bought 1. But I know I wouldn't have been able to get 4 or 5. Do you see what I'm saying? And I've been looking, now let's look at the single cards. Like, just in the last 90 days, I've added 6 more Arabian Nights sets, 4 Antiquity sets, tons of bulk singles. You guys are seeing these weird collections of moldy, dirty, poopy cards. All these things are moving around. Some people are selling for real life events and take care of their family or job or inflation. Other people have nothing, they don't care about that. They're just like, Rudy, I want nothing to do with Magic. I am so over Magic, they can fuck themselves. What Hasbro's done, I can't stomach it. And whatever your reason is, I respect your reason, and that's fine. I'm still interested in buying. That just is what it is. I can't fault people for having different reasons, and especially if those reasons are valid. I mean, it is what it is. I tell people the same thing. I still think, long term, most people will regret selling, and you should try not to sell unless you have to. Now, if you have to sell, and you want a safe way to do it, you want to get your 65 cents in the dollar, you want to sell to Rudy, you want a video, you don't want to deal with risk, hit me up, AlphainvestmentsLLC at gmail.com, PP for pictures and prices, and we'll have some fun. But that's just, it's been that way for years. It's not very exciting anymore. But I look at this stuff, and let's talk about Weiss. One of the biggest things I see for people who don't understand about Weiss Schwarz is that I don't think the average North American United States citizen understands how big Weiss is. Especially outside the United States. It's pretty fucking big. In addition to that, I don't think people understand that a store gets Weiss boxes at release. Average around 55 a box, maybe 54, 56, whatever the volume is. Plus credit card fee, plus minimum handling fee, whatever distribution charges, whatever distributor you're using. And yes, the products come out. They're not supposed to be sold for $100, $200, $300. They're not supposed to be flipped and sold in the market for 2, 4, 500% return. It's never supposed to be that way. It's not. If that happens, the system is broken. Yet if that happens, people call it a big success. And then people say, "Oh, Rudy, you're selling that new Weiss set. I'd like a whole case, please." And I say, "Well, same price. Whole case is probably $59 a box times 18 boxes. You get your free promo playmat. You get a sealed case. Cool. Move on. Yeah, I should be able to make $1 a box after shipping and fees. But Rudy, you're selling it for $60 a box. I just saw someone online. They're on TCG Player tanking. They're down to like 55. They're down to 45 a box. And I say, yeah, that's probably true. You can go on TCG Player and buy some loose boxes. And without getting into the differences in loose and single and Weiss, the point is, it shows how dumb and backwards stores and short-sighted and misunderstood things are. Because it's supposed to be cheap at the beginning. It doesn't mean the Magic set, the Weiss sets, the Pokemon set, the MetaZoo set, the Flesh and Blood, the Sorcery, the Lorcana, the One Piece, the Rudy piece, the Washer Dry. It doesn't mean these products are failing. Products are supposed to come out at a fair price. I still don't think Lord of the Rings going to $400 or $500 for a collector box. I still use caution on that, folks. 300s. If you're paying $350, you can pay $380 shipped with shipping and taxes and fees. 300s. 400s to 500s for Lord of the Rings. I know people are sending me pictures about their stores selling Lord of the Rings collectors now for $425 plus tax. They're online now for $380 plus tax. So they're like $415. Just be careful going into the 400s. I said that before. I know we meme a lot. We were doing the crazy titles, and now I'm getting kind of over it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick with the crazy titles, but it's just keep a level head. It's going to be successful. It's going to do real well. But just be careful on the Lord of the Ring collector thing if you're paying $450, $430, $500, and I guess some Canada and other countries now are up to $500, $520. Just be careful, folks. That's way too high. I would not recommend that. And again, it could go higher. There could be quick 10D flipping opportunity, but I don't recommend it because the risk isn't worth the potential reward. 300s, folks. Like I said, if a store's paying $300 and they're selling a TCG Player for $370, that store after shipping and fees is going to net, I don't know, $340, I guess, $330. So that store makes a 15% profit from selling a box online. That's fantastic. I'm happy to see stores can actually make a profit on a Magic item, but it's not outrageous where it's perverted into a ripoff. But when you start hitting like $450, $500, be careful, folks. That's dangerous stuff. So I just think people fail to understand the size of Weiss Schwarz, that when products like Weiss and Pokemon come out, even Magic, they are supposed to be normal priced. It's not supposed to come out and you can run to your local Amazon or Walmart, Target, Barnes & Noble, buy a bunch of Pokemon or Weiss and flip them on eBay and then just churn money. It's not supposed to be that way. If you're able to do that, the market is fractured and something is wrong. So now that those days are over with, looking at you, Pokemon, and all that craziness from last year, it's a good reminder to you all that where we are now is perfect. And I don't think people are appreciating it enough. Okay? We are in a moment in time where all the Weiss sets are coming out. They just sit there. They don't do anything. We've got our second new Pokemon era set. The nice Mr. P Evolved coming out. What, 120 bucks, 115, 110? Shipping and fees, stores don't make anything. Maybe they make $3. No opportunity. Very boring, whatever. But that's how it's supposed to be. That doesn't mean the new Pokemon set is tanking. The Pokemon base set that came out a couple months ago, Rudy, have you seen it? It's down to 105 plus tax on TCG Player. That's 118 out the door with shipping and handling and in taxes on TCG Player. 118! Okay. Rudy, it's tanked. Don't you think, they haven't released any more. Stores can't get more. Shouldn't that be like 150 to 200? Is Pokemon dead? No. It's supposed to be there. Let's pause there. Let's go back in time in the Rudy DeLorean. We'll put your stepsister in the car with us and we'll ride together. When I was dealing with this 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, we were talking about the collapse of battle styles and Chilling Reign. I made the video talking about I thought the market was so short-sighted that nobody saw the opportunity. So what did I do? I moved in heavy bags and I bought 3,000 boxes of Chilling Reign on like clearance, distribution. People didn't want it because Chilling Reign was online for like $89 a box. So distribution was not able to sell it for $85 to $89 a box. Okay? Because of that, it got bottlenecked in the system. Distribution takes a few dollars off a box trying to move it. I went back and forth for months Finally agreed, and it was being like 2,880 something. It was some weird number. It was almost 3,000 boxes. And I swooped in and took it all. And I remember making a video on it because I wanted a record of the date and time of how everybody felt and how I felt about Chilling Reign, how everybody made fun of me. I went on, I think that video got shared on Pokemon message boards, Pokemon Tinder and Backpage, Pokemon Discord, Pokemon websites and Facebooks and MySpace. It got shared and everybody was laughing. It shows how dumb Rudy is, just like Weiss. He doesn't know which set to buy. He doesn't understand. This guy's buying Chilling Reign. He should be buying Evolving Skies. He should be buying the better sets. And yeah, Evolving Skies is a better set. You are correct. But that's not what it's about. The point is, I knew that in a couple years, the market would recalibrate. Now, what I didn't know is how fast the market would recalibrate. My whole time and my mental preparation was that Chilling Reign by now, which has been over a year, I thought would be back to $100 a box from being in the 80s. That was my mental benchmark. Now, did I ever expect in 12 to 18 months Chilling Reign would collapse from 85 and then immediately was double to like 150? No, but that's what happened. I can't take credit. I can't brag to you all saying I predicted the market. Look, get rich quick. I'm going to start the new Rudy $69 a month program, how to teach you to get rich. No, fuck that. That's not true because I didn't predict that. I didn't get it right. All I did was play the chessboard. I looked at the pieces on the board and I said, okay, we know, what do we know? What are the facts and what are the opinions? The facts are Pokemon is massive. It always has been since it released, and it always will be probably until we're not around anymore. That, in my opinion, I guess it's not a fact, that's my opinion. In my opinion, Pokemon is just massive. Okay? We also know the opinion of the market is that Chilling Reign, Battle Styles, all the easy tendies are over with. So everybody believes a certain thing. Everybody's viewing the same perspective, and everybody's lined up facing the same direction. Because of this, if the market shifts, tilts, or is wrong, there's going to be a hard swing because nobody's prepared for it. Now that's what ended up happening. Chilling Reign was mispriced to the downside. It was underpriced. The market repriced it and recalibrated very rapidly, and the price doubled. I didn't see that coming, but that's what ended up happening. So then we look at scenarios like this. It brings me to the next thing, which if you have any information on this next topic, please send me a private message at AlphainvestmentsLLC at Gmail, or if you're a patron, send me a private message. In the last 10 days, someone or a group of people have been buying the living hell out of MetaZoo Wilderness booster boxes. It is the largest amount of sell-through volume I have seen since the product released in over a year. Now, MetaZoo Wilderness and MetaZoo UFO were the two overprinted sets from the bear market of last year. Not Seance, not the new native, not these successful new ones with low print runs. Now, if someone can tell me what's going on, or if it's just some investor buying them all out because the boxes were super cheap, can someone explain to me what's going on? Please send me a private message. I've been looking for information on what changed, on why a Wilderness UFO box, which is a decent set, was just overprinted, collapsed to $30, $40 a box, and all of a sudden it's almost doubled back to $65 a box. How did we go from the 35 range to almost 65? And over 100 boxes sold, I don't know if it's one person, a group, somebody knows something about a future set, so I am looking for information on that. I found it very suspect, and I've been kind of paying attention to see if that's going to hold or if it is market manipulation. Right now, I'm very skeptical on that, but I am seeking information. If anybody has knowledge or information on why this hard swing in MetaZoo Wilderness has occurred, please send me a message. But now, again, back to the Weiss. These products are supposed to come out. They're supposed to be cheap, and they're supposed to give everyone a fair opportunity to buy into the product, sit on the product, open the product, enjoy the product, and be a normal card game product for at least release plus so many weeks or months. And I feel like a lot of people now view that as a failure. They look at something that comes out and says, well, Rudy, it didn't go up. The fuck is this? It's shit. It's shit. No, it's a card game. A CCG product is supposed to come out and have a stable market. That means the supply was correct and the demand is correct. If the product comes out and tanks, somebody fucked up. There's too much supply. There's not enough demand. Somebody along the distribution, the management, somebody miscalculated. If a product comes out and it starts moving up in price, that means people are happy. Maybe there wasn't enough printed. Maybe the demand's higher than expected. Maybe people are shocked that the quality of the product's better. You have a bullish indicator. So the point of this video, as I summarize it, because I can't talk all day, I'll lose my voice, is that these boring times are so underappreciated and underdiscussed, underviewed. It's almost insulting to the market and the industry, because these are the times we should beg for. These are the times we should be grateful for. These are the times that when it's radio silence, the views and all the magic channels are low, there's no drama. No one's saying, oh God, the evil investors are buying out the reserve list. Now, how am I supposed to afford my Bazaar Baghdad, Rudy? You know, when those posts are happening, the bull market and the buyouts, everything's already happening. And those happen in these little windows of time. But outside those windows of time, we go through these weeks and months and possibly years of everybody just forgetting, looking the other way, and just kind of twiddling their thumbs. And I'm like, it just reminds me on Wall Street, when the stock market can be completely boring for months, just quiet, slowly either drips up, drips down, just it's boring and quiet. Then out of nowhere in the stock market, so many things can happen in one day or 1 week. It feels like we just experienced a year's worth of data in a day. And that's how the real world works. And I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, how the fuck are people not going on TCG Player and looking at the new Pokemon set at like $105 a box and thinking, I wonder if that's an opportunity. Look at the history of Pokemon. Are there any sealed Pokemon booster boxes over 5 years old that are around $100 a box? Let me change the question. Are there any sealed booster boxes in Pokemon that are over 5 years old, out of print, that are under $200 a box? Is there even a single Pokemon booster box that's been out of print for 5 years that hasn't doubled in price? Can somebody give me a single example? Like, of any sealed booster box of Pokemon, English, sorry, I don't follow the non-English. Like, are there any 5-year-old Pokemon products under 200 that haven't even doubled? Like, I don't even know. There's got to be one example, right? Can't you guys find something to make me look bad? There's got to be one. And, like, I look at that stuff, and I'm like, there's got to be one example, maybe. But it's just, it's the same thing with the Weiss product. Like, people don't realize the size and the following of Weiss and all these IPs and brands. And we're about to have, like, Weiss Avatar. People are already going crazy for that shit. And, like, I'm looking at these Weiss sets from last year's bear market. Just a year ago. How to Pick Up Chicks in a Dungeon. Fate Grand, the movies. These Data Live. All these sets that came out even a year ago. Even the big boy. Attack on Titan 2. AOT Volume 2. Which was massively overprinted, collapsed. And I was looking on TCG Player and I was like, where the fuck did all the boxes go? What? Wait a minute. This market's already tilting. It hasn't even been a year from the bear market lows. And that's how quick things change. It doesn't even take 20 years. And yet, you don't get views. You'll see, look, watch the views on this video. Unless I put a clickbait dramatic title, or something's crashing, or Magic 30, people are not interested in logical conversations of actual market cycles in what we should be thinking about. People just want the next big boom so everybody can hype up, or the next big bear market crash so they can watch the drama of bankruptcy and failure. And yet in between these peaks and troughs is where people build wealth and change lives and build generational wealth and build businesses. And it's just like, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, before I end the video, one other thing. I was looking at Dominaria Remastered. Okay. What a phenomenal product. And yet, the draft box prices of Dominar Remastered have completely collapsed. And I've been wanting to talk about it, but I've been so behind. I'm sorry, the sickness thing. But oh my God. Like there were some stores, and they blew them out. They sell out in like 10 minutes. But there were even some stores that sold like Dominar Remastered draft boxes. I think for like $120, $130. Like, I can't, like, distribution's like 20, 30% higher. Like these crazy things. And I'm like, why would somebody dump some of these products like that? And my only answer is they have zero confidence and they need the money. And this breeds so much opportunity out there and so many directions to go with money and working in the future prices of things and today's value versus future value. The sheer amount of opportunity, folks, is uncomprehendable to my brain right now. And I should be so thankful for you all who are actually watching this. You'll see, because the views are terrible right now because there's no drama. And I should be so thankful that the market is stale and lame. Because I admit, if the market had done what I thought it was going to do after 2021 and keep going at a slower pace, but level out and keep going back to normal rates of return, not to the moon. If it had even done that, like, I don't even know how many collections and deals and how much expansion of ABU or reserve list or Four Horsemen or even sealed product. Like, would I even be able to get a lot? Like, I should be thankful that the market went that way to allow the opportunity and provide the choice for me to actually think about this stuff. Because, like I said, when we went through those times, like even when Revised, remember that 2 years ago? All everybody cared about in January, February, March of 2021. People were obsessed with Revised. I told you, based on what I saw, it looks like Wheel of Fortune could be the most expensive card in Revised and outpace Dual Lands. Because the market was so insane. I remember making a video saying, this is nuts, folks, be careful. And, you know, Revised is always the benchmark of the bull market and money flowing into vintage Magic. And I remember looking at that stuff. And I just remember thinking, and I remember getting all these Patreon messages about buying all these different homelands and fallen empires. Oh, Ice Age, that's what it was. The Ice Age reserve list cards. And of course, all these weird Revised reserve list cards. Not Dual Land and Wheel of Fortune, just other random stuff. And the market was just going for all these low tier and money was moving around. And you know, and sure enough, my instinct of warning and saying, be careful with that, was valid because that was showing we were at the tip of a top of a market. Because the smart money wasn't buying a bunch of $3, $5, $8 Ice Age reserve list cards just because they're reserve list and trash. And sure enough, that was the top of the market. And sure enough, most people who were involved in that, they got annihilated. Down 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%, and they left the market. They're gone. They're never coming back to the card world. And that's how you reset the game board. So I'm done talking. I don't want to lose my voice here, folks. And I'm just saying I think we should all be thankful that if you still are out there and you're listening to this video and you do believe in old Magic singles, sealed product, who I guess I'm the only one left that believes in it. If you still believe in this stuff, I think you should take a long, hard look of how fortunate and lucky you may be to acquire, accumulate, or play in this market and be in the CCG world, because what better market could you ask for? Well, some people say, well, Rudy, I could ask for a tanking market so I can get a better price. No, this is the best market condition you can ask for, because this is a market condition where prices are really stable, nothing's collapsing, so your downside risk is no longer as extreme, and yet there's no upside, so you can accumulate and you can take your time and not emotionally rush or panic. This is fucking ideal. And that's just how I feel about it. I feel like I'm the only one who feels that way.